Hello everyone, this is William Armstrong here with a video as some troubleshooting issues that apparently I'm running into with this Acer Iconia W510 computer that I can get Debian Linux to boot to its actual bootloader menu through the live CD, but it won't work, and I've tried through live USB, that also didn't work as intended. So for some strange reason, this Linux booting hangs entirely on this system, freezing it. So it just hangs unlimitedly. It says Debian UEFI installer menu, Debian GNU Linux in version 9.4, and trying the later version 10 doesn't cut it at all. So getting Linux to boot on this thing is a pain in my ass. Pardon my French, but it's a pain in my ass, and I have a 32-bit version of Debian here. This computer is an x86 computer, but it has two core processors and it's two CPU, and it's like a dual core CPU and four cores in it. When I looked at it through System Information and Task Manager in Windows, but unfortunately this computer will not start from Linux. It just freezes directly on the installer menu. I'm going to try to see if I can get a text-based menu to come up and see if that is the issue, or it won't do the graphical install. But if it does load in the text menu, that means it cannot handle graphical installations of Linux distros. But if the text installation of Debian doesn't work either, then that means this computer is not capable of handling Linux, period. Even though it has an Intel Atom processor, 2 gigs of RAM, but in Windows 10, the 32-bit version reports less than that. There is 16 megabytes of video RAM, but this is a computer from the Windows 8 period, because Windows 8 was on this thing prior to me getting it. Whoever last owned this had Windows 8, but it was upgraded to Windows 10. It runs Windows 10 well, but trying to see if Linux can run on it too is a challenge. Despite that, this is a touchscreen enabled computer. This top portion of the screen is the computer plus the touchscreen. This is the dock with the keyboard, touchpads, one USB port, the power port on the other sides, and the tablet release docking switch right there. And this has a USB OTG, which I'm using a micro USB OTG connector. There's a micro SD card. There's like a little mini or micro HDMI, which you would need a mini HDMI, or actually a micro HDMI cable right there to convert it to a full size HDMI. And there's the headphone and the rotation switch, and then there's the power button. The rotation lock switch stops the screen from rotating when the tablet is tilted a certain direction or a certain angle. If you tilt the tablet this way, the screen will go this way. If you tilt it this way, it goes this way. If you tilt it the other way around, it goes that way. Or if you tilt the other end to that side, it'll also change direction. But unfortunately, the way I found to power the system off is two choices. One, turn off the system by letting the battery drain, or hold the power button until it goes out and then turn it back on. But the disadvantage is it takes approximately 2 seconds to wait for it to start up, since I've Googled the instruction manual and downloaded it. But in the instruction manual, it just says to wait at least 2 seconds before turning on again. I usually wait 3 seconds or 5 minutes to turn it back on again, since kind of trying to turn it back on in a short period might cause a problem. But that is somewhat similar to at least starting up an engine or a motor and starting it up and then letting it run, and then turning it back off and turning it back on again within a short period. So this requires at least 2 seconds to wait to turn it back on again, instead of trying to restart it again before the 2 second period is up. Leave your comments below as to what you think with is the case. If this cannot handle a graphical installation of Debian, or it can handle a text-only mode, because the cause of the hanging is unknown, but this uses mainly the Intel GMA video chipset graphics driver graphics things. and it can boot Windows 10. But getting Linux to boot on it, it's a pain in my ass, I have to be honest with you. My last YouTube videos, I've made videos about Linux on. I had a Dell Inspiron 1525 that will boot Linux immediately straight out without any problems. But depending on the type of computer used, Linux may not boot on all computers. It'll boot on some machines, but may not boot on others. But my Dell Inspiron 1525 a long time ago I had was able to run Linux just fine. Was an Intel Core 2 Duo processor machine that ran perfectly with Linux and perfectly with Windows Vista at the time, before Windows Vista lost its security updates permanently. And that's about it for this video. And William Armstrong signing out, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.